As soon as this resets, we'll go full screen. Screen, all right. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the May 19th, 2025 Select Board Meeting for the Town of Parsonsfield. We have 3 board members and our town clerk here. And our first agenda item is the town clerk report.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everyone, the school budget referendum vote is tomorrow. We'll be open from 3 to 8. We did get a couple calls, kind of confused on what this actually is. This vote is for determining if the school budget should be approved or not. There will also be a vote on the ballot to determine if residents still want to continue with the referendum vote at town offices or if they just want to have the one vote at the school. And I think you guys are all set with the paperwork, so we'll scratch that off. Wednesday, June 11th, the town clerk's office will be closed. Specifically for the reason both our kids are graduating 8th grade. So it's in the middle of the day, so we both want to be there obviously, so we're going to close. I don't know if you
both of you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to remain open, and if I told Debbie already and she said she was all set, so I did let her know.
Okay.
So
Said she was all set, meaning what?
as far as she had no problem with it, but I don't know if she wants somebody else in here or not.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
But
Yeah. We'll have to ask
just
her.
let me know, I guess, so I can post it if select
Okay.
board's open.
Yeah.
Direct people. I did send some information earlier today, and requested some workshop time, mainly for, to discuss the reserve account transfers, and a couple invoices that need to be paid, and talk about what accounts they should be paid out of since it's end of year. What time is good for you all?
Thursday,
Thursday?
2:30?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're open.
2:30, okay?
2:30 sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, great, awesome. And did you want to talk about the adjustments, for the professional services account now, or also wait until?
All right, thank you.
Oh,
That's a
package.
box probably for you, Daniel.
Oh, okay, great.
It's outside your door.
Thank you. Do we want to talk about the professional services, or do you want to wait till Thursday on that as well?
Is there anything that needs to be paid, or is this just moving money around?
This is just moving money around to solve the over expenditure.
Okay, I'd say why don't we wait until Thursday?
Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds good.
yeah.
Alright. And I did hear from Alicia, and I'm assuming they got a hold of the select board, Limerick Fire Department invoice that dated back to last fiscal year. Is that all taken care of, or did
Alright.
Limerick contact you?
No, I
They
haven't
did not, okay.
talked to anybody. Well, I talked to their chief, but
You did?
about setting up a mutual aid agreement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Yeah.
make sure she's all set just to get back to her.
Okay.
And we counted it out again, 100 days before the municipal election in September is May 28th. So the nomination papers for this next municipal election will be available Wednesday, May 28th.
Mhm.
And we will be placing an ad next week in the shopper's guide.
All right.
So we'll need to finalize what positions,
Well,
right?
the town clerk needs to.
She does,
We
okay.
don't need to.
Okay, good.
Yep, we'll
Yeah.
go through all that. And there is, I'm sorry, I didn't see your agenda, the budget committee vacancy. Is that
Mhm.
gonna be discussed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And the balances on the reserve account and checking are below, and that is all I have. I do wanna mention, I will be here until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It should be pretty quiet, so if anyone has any last minute registrations they need, I'll be here.
Okay.
You know what, and I did post no pickleball so that,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
because we'll be setting up, and I think that
Yeah.
they were gonna try and set up for the special town, for the public hearing, but maybe not,
Okay,
because of the vote.
Yep.
I know Desiree said she was coming in, but
Okay.
probably not.
we had 50 people last year, so hopefully we'll get another 50 this year at least. That would be nice. So, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to the heading on our agenda right now, and that is a reminder that the office is closed on Monday, May 26th, which is next Monday, a week from today, for Memorial Day. We will be closed and dark. Okay, next item, the agenda for today. Anybody have anything they want to add? Okay, silence means no. Minutes from last Monday. Everybody went through those electronically, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, any further adjustments? I noticed a spelling error. DOS for does. I guess it's phonetically correct. I'm gonna correct that on here. And we can sign those. Okay, I'm gonna add to this signing what Danielle struck from her notes, and that is the warrant for the school election tomorrow. We have 197 copies here to sign, and
So that,
I started. Oh, that must go with the other one. Okay. All right, so they're, look at that.
I didn't see it though. I went to grab it.
I can tell that you didn't.
So there are two of those. There are actually two in there that you need to sign, Jen.
Okay.
I have never understood why they need so many of these signed when all they do is take one. Been that way since day one. But then the school board has their own set of rules, and I guess we have to abide by them.
They're not all originals though, are they?
They're
They
all
are, okay.
originals, signed by everybody on the board,
they are.
including this board.
Over and over.
Yep.
Oh, Dave, I gotta go back.
Yeah, that one's okay. That's why they're clipped together. Those are the two.
You don't sign this one?
Oh,
A majority
yeah.
of municipal.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't sign it because I didn't know. Yeah. All right, I'll trade you.
Do I need to use my reacher?
There is a copy of the warrant being signed on the website. You can click the red banner up top or go to the news and announcements section.
Look at that.
Did you just do that?
It's on, no, Danielle and I
okay.
posted it
Oh.
on Thursday, right? Yeah. on
Nice.
Yeah.
Still very French to us, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did my first edits today on the website with Jen's help. And got it done.
Yes.
Oh, let's see, I can pass those that way.
Wow, there are. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, not kidding.
Yeah,
but
no, unfortunately, we're not.
Yeah.
They really mean it.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. While they're signing, I think I'll continue.
Minutes.
All right. There.
You're welcome.
The next item is bills to be paid. We have a couple you want to talk about, Danielle. That one we're going to talk about Thursday.
Both of them, right?
And, oh, the modem waves.
Both
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, yeah. So,
Can I ask, do you know how many hours we used of our
from-
contract?
I don't know. I can ask him.
Yeah, I'd be curious. 'Cause I didn't realize that the hours had an expiration on it.
Yeah,
It's 40 hours or 12 months, whichever comes first.
Yeah, I can ask him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you could do that, that would be great. All right. And we do have a couple of additional sheets here that we're going to sign. These are the main PERS, the retirement account contributions. Danielle noticed today that these are paid electronically online, which they have to be. And so we, as the select board, had not seen them and had not approved them. I mean, there is nothing to approve except to put our signature on it. So we're doing that.
The employee side's coming out of the payroll checks, and the employer side is paying the match, so.
Right. Yeah. Okay, then we have the warrant. This week's warrant totals $27,266.92. We have our health trust payment, which is just over $10,000 for the month. And our road commissioner for equipment is $12,145. And that takes up most of it. All right. So the top two were, you can just flip over because we'll be discussing those
Okay.
Thursday.
On Thursday, these? Okay.
Yeah. We can hear the rain in here, folks. Hope you're under cover.
Okay.
Boo.
It was really too heavy for the region.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. I'd hate to see
You
it.
need
I'd
a
hate to see.
two-handed one.
Right, I'd hate to see it flop open
Yeah.
and all the pages
You
go,
have a
right?
board, so it's like
Right.
solid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. What am I picturing where they'll pick stuff up? Oh, a pizza oven.
It's called a peel.
Oh, yeah.
It's a peel. Yeah, I've got a nice huge one at home. I'll bring that next time.
A peel. I've never heard that term before.
Yep, it's called a peel, P-I-E-L.
Huh.
Yep.
Okay. That's what they use in a pizza oven?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, I learned something new today.
Yep. I have a few of them. I have one of them really long handle. I'll bring that one.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Okay. You signed the warrant. Ads for the solid waste contract and the boiler replacement and stove installation. They are both on our website. They will be in the shopping guide this week. And let's see, did you get my note about the additional sheet? Can that be included
Yep, I can.
on the website?
Yeah, the boiler addendum there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, I can. Yeah, I can just add that to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Either as a link or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should we be posting those on like the MMA? The MMA has the RP.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can look into that.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Gee, I had something in mind, what was I gonna say? I've lost it. All right, so, reports, we have none this week. Upcoming meetings, on May 21st, the planning board has public hearings and a regular meeting starting at 6 p.m. Now, you said they can't continue the meeting, is that right?
Well, they can continue.
They can't do it beforehand, though.
Right, I
Yeah.
didn't think that they were supposed to do it beforehand,
Yeah.
but I gotta look at the
Yeah.
bylaws.
Yeah,
You
so,
have it posted though, that's.
yeah, that's
Oh,
okay,
okay.
that's okay, yeah, yeah. They do have a large agenda, and with the public hearing, they are feeling they may run over longer than they want to meet that night, so they may have to extend the meeting.
Well, because they have the planning board has a bylaw that they can't take up any new business after 9 p.m.
9.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
good. Okay, a reminder again, as Danielle brought up, tomorrow is the school budget referendum vote. And that's 3 to 8, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, and that's here for Parsons Field residents. Okay, moving on, discussion items. Tom Winter has resigned from the Piper and Elijah Fox funds. So we will need to look and see if they need additional people. So Elijah Fox still has 3 board members, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And does Piper still have 3?
Yes,
Okay, so they have the board members, it's just a question of the treasurer.
right, secretary treasurer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can talk to them and see if they want to elect one of their board members to be that.
Mhm,
Otherwise, we will have to look for somebody, and they'll have to make do in the meantime.
mhm. I do believe they have plans to do that, to
Okay.
elect one.
Yeah, okay. Tom did request payment for the treasurer, secretary treasurer from, was it Elijah Fox or Piper?
Piper?
Okay. And, I mean, I know he did a lot of legwork, and if it hasn't been paid, I think he should be paid.
I think it was a $10 per meeting and then a $100. I don't know if that $100 was a yearly thing. I would have to look into it again
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
it was an
Yeah.
annual thing, yeah.
How would we pay him, I guess?
That has to come out of the Piper funds. It has to be a vote by the board,
Mhm.
and
Okay,
then it comes out of the Piper funds.
so we have to meet on that and discuss it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I think they have minutes that they haven't given us yet, so,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, next item is the auditor invoice for the upcoming audit, which is the 2022.
Can I just go back for a
On
second?
hold for?
Yeah, yes,
In,
you
in,
may.
in terms of what they, of what UBS requires from us on that resignation, can we just agree, do we agree as a board that we've accepted his resignation?
Yes,
Okay,
okay, sorry.
okay.
Sorry,
Just-
you're right, yeah.
Just because we have to put that in the minutes.
Has to
Just
be in the
just to
minutes.
formalize it,
Yep.
then I move to accept Tom Winter's resignation from the Piper Free High School Fund and the Elijah Fox Trust.
So moved.
Everybody in agreement on that? No further discussion? Okay, very good, thank you. Appreciate your noting that, Aaron. Okay, the auditor invoice is one that we left until Thursday. We're going to discuss that during the workshop.
Yep.
And finding funds for the GoPIF Community Action Grant. Somebody
Yes.
has to first tell me what GoPIF is. I mean, I know what this is, but,
It is the Governor's Office of Policy, Innovation, and the Future,
yeah, there we go.
okay?
Thank you.
Reserve account.
It's one of 1,000 acronyms I've learned over the
Yeah.
last several months.
The fact that you can remember is great.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the reason we need to find these funds is we were not anticipating as a town to to get a reimbursement grant. We were given a grant from from the state for a municipal energy assessment, evaluation, and an audit. We were supposed to be just cut a check and then working with SMPDC, have contractors that we would hire to do this. We did get the grant. The grant total is $64,400, but there are 4 milestones that the town has to meet, and then we get paid for those funds that we've already expended. It was totally unanticipated. I spoke with the state and several of the administrators of the funds, and we can either accept it or not, because that's just the way it's going to be.
Mhm.
There's no chance of getting a total grant, just a check written to us. Yeah, it's all reimbursement. Like I said, not what we anticipated. They're I had a meeting with them, they're extremely understanding of the fact that we are tight. Look at what we're doing, we're shuffling money around. It's like we're, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul kind of a thing. They understood, and they've actually given us several days to make this decision if this is the way we're gonna go. I told them that we had a meeting today, that we could talk about where to potentially get these funds, totally reimbursable. Write a check, sign the deliverable as they call it, and then get that amount back within 30 days from the state.
so when do you anticipate the first milestone? No, that's the wrong question. When do you anticipate the first payment being required?
When we do sign the first milestone, which is a contract with SMPDC, I have a draft contract. When they know that we're willing, that we'll do this, and that we, as a town, have the funds that we can use, and we sign it, we're good to go. And that, we can do it sometime in June, and then go to the fall, it's gonna last a year, or we can wait till July 1st. I think they prefer their fiscal year sometime in June. It's probably gonna require a special town meeting,
Well, maybe,
maybe?
maybe not.
Okay,
The one thing that I looked at today was our article from the annual town meeting that's been in there forever that says we can borrow from reserve accounts
Mm-hmm.
and pay back with appropriate interest, which, who knows what that
Which
is, but,
article is that?
pardon me?
Which article is that?
I just don't know.
Oh, you
maybe.
don't have to, I was just.
Yeah, I'll get
That's
to that if you
great.
want to look through it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
last year's.
always been in there. It's never been used that I recall. Let's see, network share, 24. I think it's one of the first 10 or so, and maybe even the first 5.
The only other town that got awarded this grant in those same terms is Cape Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Yeah, which, I'm sure they have no issue whatsoever. But they've been willing to go from being repaid twice throughout the grant period to 4.
before,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that we
So,
can,
I'm sorry, it's Article 5, Danielle, and it's not worded quite like I thought it was. It's to see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to borrow from the dedicated town funds in anticipation of taxes.
Oh, this is 2022, that's not what it says.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Yeah,
here,
Okay,
take this
great.
one.
Article
this
five.
is from last year. Now, there may be some discussion about what dedicated town funds are.
Wow.
I know the intent, and again, I'll get myself in trouble, but the intent is reserve accounts. Having talked with Jack Erler 15 years ago maybe about this. So I don't know, that's a possibility.
Dedicated town funds in anticipation of taxes.
Mhm.
Mm. But this isn't really in anticipation of taxes.
Yeah, that's true, although, I mean, if taxes were coming in, we'd have money in unanticipated
Oh,
accounts.
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Anticipating that taxes are coming in to fill those reserve accounts, and they will be paid back. I mean, this is being paid back.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, I mean, that
Yep.
just occurred to me. I look for other suggestions.
And the reserve account that we saw that had like the most funding in it were the roads.
Yep, 216,000.
And we're talking 64.4 over a period of a year, the first one being relatively quickly, and the first payment is 24,440. That would be the most. Then they go down 20, 13, and then 6.
Mhm.
What's the payment amount again?
The total grant money is $64,400. The first payment we would be making after signing a contract, and I don't have a time date for that yet because they're waiting to
They're
hear from
waiting
us.
to hear from us.
Would be
yeah.
$24,440. They know that we need the money as quickly as possible, and because the grant itself doesn't involve, I think I've already said, the Environment and Historic Preservation, it doesn't involve the Davis-Bacon Act and a few other criteria, it would take the state much less time to reimburse us. And the woman that I'm working with knows that, that we would like the funds back as quickly as possible,
Mhm.
so.
I mean, it's really just the first payment. Because
Mhm.
like I say, once we're into the new year,
Mm-hmm.
then things will be replenished.
Mhm.
And as long as we don't go over the 25%, whatever is, we're
And the road reserves had.
312, so 25%.
Well, the
yeah.
only thing I'm looking at is that for some reason, I still have money, we still have money in the York County Sheriff Reserve of 34,000. And I don't understand why, I guess we didn't close that out. I mean, realistically, you could use that
For the first
for the
payment.
first payment if that's real.
Yeah, if that's real. I don't want to ask you to find out if it's
Well, no,
real.
I'll look at all the other big
Mhm.
sheets and go back.
Yeah.
I just felt like I don't have that closed out for
Yeah,
some reason.
yeah.
But we can look at it Thursday if we
Yeah,
want.
sure,
We'll
sure,
go back in
Yeah.
the years and,
yeah.
because the car kind of shuffled back and forth
Right.
and there's a lot of movement, but
Yeah, Yeah.
Would I be safe to tell them that, yes, we will be able to make that first payment, and then I'll probably find out more information tomorrow, and then talk about it Thursday, whether it comes from sheriff or road or, and see
I'm
what their,
comfortable with that.
see what their time frame
I
is.
mean, I look to Danielle and you two.
It might be easiest to take from the sheriff if we do have that money, since it's not going anywhere
Right.
Uh-huh, right, right,
for that first payment. And then-
yeah.
But it would take a town vote, or are we using the town vote in the annual town meeting for that vote?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just borrowing from it, so
Borrowing
technically
from it.
we'd have to pay that account back, and
Yep.
then you could close it out.
Then close it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really?
okay, yep,
It's not going anywhere, so
Right,
you gotta
right,
close it out
right.
anyway, really.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. And, you know, appropriate interest, I would say, is
Mm.
whatever we're getting on the
Yeah.
reserve accounts plus a percent or something like that. That we'd have to come up with somewhere.
okay.
But it would only be for a month, or say 2 months.
Uh-huh,
So a sixth of 5%, you know, it's not gonna be a big
it's gonna
number.
be minimal,
Yeah,
unanticipated,
if there's,
if there's
Yeah.
anything left, right?
yeah.
When it says said amount not to exceed 75% of the town funds, does that mean funds in the account that we are removing it from, or funds in totality?
Town, of the town funds. To me, that means in totality. But again, these articles, some of them, this one's as old as the hills. I don't
Right.
think it's ever been changed. But some of these need to be tightened up, obviously.
Mm,
But it says town funds.
Well, and you said it was 34,000 in that?
That's what I have, yeah.
Yeah, so 75, so even so, 75% of 34,000 is 25,500.
oh,
yeah,
then we're
so
just
we'd
under
So
it.
we'd still
would
be
have-
just
yeah,
under it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my
good
Mhm.
point, yeah,
immediate concern.
yep,
So we would be okay there too. So, yeah,
So if you're looking at the interest, and I was just looking at the beginning balance, with the interest in that account, it's $35,053.54.
okay.
okay, so it's even a little higher.
Yeah.
Just a little, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that more on Thursday, but that's at least a plan.
Okay,
Yep.
do we need a motion, or?
Um, oh, boy.
I would expect so, right? Because we're entering a contract?
Yes,
How
but
about-
it's not signed yet or anything, so I don't have that in, in my hand.
Right.
Mm.
Well, that contract can't be signed until 2 weeks from tonight, right? Because next week's a holiday.
Right,
And if you guys agree in the interim that this is what we're gonna do, then you can have a motion to do that at that same meeting.
Yep.
I think that's appropriate.
okay, and that is what we're doing, then we can go ahead and,
Yeah.
okay. I have the draft contract, I think I sent it to you both.
Yeah,
Okay,
Uh-huh.
yep.
Okay, very good. Go Piff. There'll be a quiz at the end.
It's not the only one.
All right, reserve transfer requests for last year's comprehensive plan reserve and last year's cemetery reserve. So remind us, Danielle, these are transfers that were not done. Is that right?
Those are the ones that Debbie identified that we need to talk about on Thursday.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's wait until Thursday.
Easier.
Okay. And that's it for our agenda items. Jen, do you have any updates?
Anymore. No, again, talking about the grant was my biggest update. There is a Youthful Maine food pantry on 3 p.m. The community dinners that we do, the community cafe is next Wednesday, and we're already full. We're already up to our cap of 50. And I think that is all I've got to say.
All right. Aaron?
I don't think I had a lot. I think, had a request come in from a resident on, the roads. There was a deep pothole forming on Hasty Road, and Maya went over and took care of that, last Tuesday. Went over, filled it in, smoothed it out, and so that's all taken care of. Mentioned Memorial Day, so good on that. So yeah, I don't think I had anything else.
Okay. Good. Let's see, I've contacted the fire chiefs by email of the 3 departments that we agree at our annual town meeting to pay a stipend to for mutual aid. I've heard back from 2 of them. They're anxiously awaiting an agreement. And the 3rd one, I assume, will get back to me at some point. This is one of these things where we've had verbal agreements, but it doesn't look like there were ever written agreements. And the method that payments were made was a little sketchy, so we're gonna come up with mutual aid agreements agreeable to both of us, both parties in each of 3 towns, and go from there. We also had the land share riders in at our workshop today. Talked about roads being used by them and their members. And we had some questions for them, questions about access roads, and they were going to do something else, and I don't recall just what. And we need to check on access. Oh, I know, they were going to check about whether there are clubs in Effingham.
Yeah, and then checking with the state on New Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were gonna get any agreements that the state has that the select board may have signed. This is from who knows when, before any of our time, so. And then they're also requesting to use part of a state road, short section of Middle Road that's a state road, while one of their trails is being rerouted and worked on. So, once we find out what's in place and what we can do, we will proceed with that. I believe that was it from my standpoint. Anybody want to add anything?
Just, I guess when you talk about workshops, you have personnel policy, but I want to cover one of his employees on the insurance as well, just so that at some point we have a workshop, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
He's
and
been
we
asking.
should do that sooner rather
Yeah.
than
An
later.
additional employee?
Hmm?
An additional,
It's Hunter, it's his, yeah, not an additional, well, besides Jeff, yes.
so
Hunter,
it is an additional cost?
right,
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
yep.
Yep. All right.
Is that a good time to talk about when they're off season too?
Yeah,
Probably,
yeah, we
yes.
need to look
Yeah.
at the whole scheduling and how much they work and whether they're eligible because of that. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded?
All right, all in favor? Very good. Thank you, folks. We'll see you Thursday.